I see Robert Downey Jr., I go up to him, I shake his hand, nice to meet you, and I'm starting to panic, right? I'm like, oh my God, this is Robert Downey Jr. And I'm looking at him in the face, sort of going, there's something different about you in person. Do they do something to your face on camera? Like, you don't look the same. And then Robert then walked in. And I realized I've been talking to his stunt double the whole time.
By the way, I just want to say one, this is probably the most important thing anyone will hear today. Tom Holland has changed.
Huh?
He's changed. He's different. Look, he's wearing Louboutin sneakers now. Oh. Show him the bottoms of your sneakers, Tom. Oh, look at him.
He's got a Piaget watch on.
Things different now, isn't it, Tom?
As an American, you were okay with a foreigner playing the role of Spider-Man. Not really, no.
No. I like this Tom Holland guy.
Yeah, you like him?
I like him. It's about the person, Jimmy.
I see.
I was prepping for Chaplin 25 years ago, and thanks, you hear that? And happens that this Spider.
You're in the middle of an
Man.
interview. Oh.
Pull up a chair.
Now hold on a damn second. Just because I did this to you in Berlin doesn't mean all right.
I even wore glasses to try.
Look at you.
This is very RDJ, right?
It's very good. You really are taking cues from the master now. Tom is enthusiastic and bright and gifted and a very physically talented guy. It's just the right combination of elements that were required to really make an exciting new play of this.
He FaceTimed me in the middle of an interview.
Really? Yeah,
Hang
right.
on a minute. He never FaceTimes me. This is so weird. Hey, man. How you doing? He's never FaceTimed me ever once. Now it's become a bit of a thing.
Why are you answering your phone in the middle of an interview?
Because it's you.
Yeah,
if it was my mom, I'd be like, no. But it's Robert Downey Jr., so you're like, yeah, I'll see what's happening. You know when you revise for an exam and you feel like you crushed it, but the longer you wait for the results, the more you think you kind of...
He's British, by the way.
Ruined it.
Needs a test or a
test or something.
Thank God you brought your translator.
Exactly, yeah. Thanks, boss. So I was in Atlanta for my first screen test. They told us 25 minutes before that Robert was going to come along and do the audition. Literally on cue, a helicopter flew down and Robert got out and came for his audition. And I was like, one day.
Yeah, I was going to say.
One day. Oh, I give that a minute, bud. Woo!
Being back with Tom Holland and Jon Favreau was just crazy. And it reminded me of that kind of first Iron Man experience.
John rang me up, was like, Robert's going to do it. I was like, that's amazing. I thought it would take a huge amount of persuading. They were like, nope. We rang him up, we asked him, he said yes. He loved being here.
Yeah, well, when we were doing Civil War was when, right at the beginning of that, they were casting, and so they brought in all the finalists for the exam.
Yes.
And
the exam
and Tom Nettle. I mean, what I had to do, they're like, he's great, isn't he? I was like, yeah, he is.
And that was it?
3 words.
Nice.
Yeah. Someone here wanting to ask whether Spider-Man will be in this movie. Can you answer that?
I don't know if I can say. I will punt that one to my camera guy.
I think it's pretty safe to say that he's going to be in the movie. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Him and grooming him along.
It's about like when your 16-year-old says, well, I have a license now, I can drive, and you want to put a tracker in their car and you want to be able to deactivate it.
Your character has a great line.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
This is like boy meets world suit. Boy kind of blows it, and then maybe at the end there's a redemption, but he's got to earn it. It's a straightforward Spider-Man movie. There's always opportunities for heavy hitters dropping in to kind of support him.
I was just trying to be like you.
I wanted you to be better.
This one's particularly fun for me. Feels like the old band's back together again.
Those two have obviously known each other for nearly 10 years, and they know what to do, and it was really nice to just be thrown in at the deep end.
What do you call homecoming over across the pond?
Yeah.
We call it prom.
You call it prom?
And
what do you call prom?
That was the whole thing. We got halfway through shooting the movie. I was like, by the way, what's a homecoming?
Really?
Yeah, we don't do that. Basically, had been auditioning for about 5 months. And after my final audition, they said, you'll find out tomorrow. Fast forward 6 weeks, I was still waiting. And one day, Marvel just posted on their Instagram, go to our website to find out who the new Spider-Man is. And that's it. I just found out online. They didn't call me up or anything.
Yeah.
I showed up to my screen test in Atlanta, and I had been told only 20 minutes before my audition that I'd be doing my audition with Robert Downey Jr., so immediately the level of stress went from like 100 to a billion. Someone comes up to me and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're Spider-Man, hey." And I'm like, "Hello, how are you?" And they go, "You're English?"
Each time it surprises me. It really does.
Yeah, I'm not
Each time
from
I'm
here.
taken aback. Because Spider-Man's an American, and it's something we have to believe in. Right? I mean, at least Iron Man is an American, right?
Yes.
Is this the first time you met Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? And really, I only show it because it's funny.
You know, the funny thing about that, I think he was actually kneeling in that picture.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't know what to do, and you just feel like a little boy or something, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
It's, honey, I shrunk the Downey.
Agents, they were like, "Oh, this is amazing." And then Kevin Feige finally rang me and said, "I've got some great news. You're going to be Spider-Man." I was like, "I know, Kevin. You put it on Instagram." Like, I'm 20. Do you really think I'm not going to find it?
Congratulations.
There's a modicum of desperation going on during the Civil War of it all. He's like, man, we need backup and who's available and all that. And he kind of got a lead on a prospect, kind of like a baseball scout. And then, fortunately, he just develops this belief in Mr. Parker.
I have been a fan of Marvel movies my whole life, so the fact that I got to, you know, not only meet Iron Man, but work with him, the man himself, was just a dream come true. And the fact that Robert, you know, was willing to show up and do this movie with us and to really bring a different level of humor to this movie, for me, was such an honor, and I learned so much from working with him. But Facebook is
Just hold it on him and we're going to get a lot of likes.
They don't use Facebook here in China. We should be using Facebook.
Not only being American, you're doing, and by the way, first place I went from the hospital was to Forest Hills. You were doing a Queens accent. You're doing a Forest Hills accent. That's how good this guy is. He's not just doing a New York accent. It is borough and area specific.
Thank you.
Well, Spider-Man is in this movie, which I thought is really fantastic, and it's exciting for the Spider-Man movie, which
Yes.
Iron Man will be a part of. Is that
Perhaps
okay?
I will. We don't have a contract yet.
We don't have a contract.
No,
Oh,
I
you
think
get paid for these?
No, once in a while.
I didn't know that.
You want a summertime set visit with me and the cast and crew.
Cajone's coming in here and
You know, I'm the new kid on the block.
right. It's
Try
working.
and step up to the plate.
You done now?
Do it, yeah.
All right.
I just wanted to show my face.
God, it's a good face.
Wow.
Nice.
The future of cinema.
Very stylish.
Turnabout is fair play. We're even now.
See you later.
All right, pal. Tom Holland. Payback's a bitch. Genuinely had a blast. I just loved Spider-Man. So to me, being able to participate in reintroducing Spider-Man to a new generation, that's why it's called Homecoming.
All right.
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you.
You and I both grew up. I mean, to me, Spider-Man was my...
Me too. Number one.
That was my whole deal.
Because he was the funny superhero. He's the one
He was
that
funny, he was cool, he was young like us.
you could relate to Spider-Man.
I
for
mean,
sure.
I don't know if I didn't get bit by a radioactive spider that I recall.
I did, and I'm telling you, it was
See?
just the same
This is why I
experience.
knew this was,
I was a young genius who was bit by a radioactive insect. And I do want to talk about this in a minute, because when you, what was it, 10 years ago that
Yeah.
you did the first Iron Man movie?
Absolutely.
We didn't know how that was going to go. That could have been a disaster.
Right.
It could have ruined your acting career.
Oh, sure. I mean, there was the only way was up back then, buddy.
None of this would have happened if you would just listen to me. If you even cared, you'd actually be here. Oh my God, it's Robert Downey Jr. And I walk into this room, I see Robert Downey Jr., I go and introduce myself, and I'm freaking out. I'm sort of really geeking out, I'm being very, very uncool. And then I realize that Robert Downey Jr. then walks in, and I realize I've been talking to his stunt double the whole time. So I got my sort of geeky fanboy thing out of the way with his double, and then finally got to meet him afterwards. Yeah.
Robert, you have not seen it yet?
I have personally yet to see it. When can I...
You will see it when I'm ready for you to see it. Just take a minute.
The new blood...